Riri, I see you. I see you're fed up, waiting to be acknowledged for your greatness.
Acknowledged for your greatness.
Here's where you're wrong. She was already perfect.
Every dream has a cost. And that cost, according to Ironheart, costs you everything. Stealing billions of dollars from the rich white man's corporation so that you can use it for your own personal uses, such as funding your Iron Man suit and trying to become rich and famous and iconic. Because I'm a minority and I need a handout, baby. Oh, look, my avatar looks just like the hood. I just sat through 3 hours of Ironheart. 3 45-minute episodes that feel like they're full-length feature films because they go on and on and on and they never stop. This was so painful for me to watch. I had a blast watching Snow White in the movie theater because it was so bad that it was good, like in a really funny way. This was just boring. This is a liberal's masturbatory fantasy, okay? This has all the tropes of modern leftist woke communist ideology in a nutshell, all right? We have all the themes of socialism, all the themes of narcissism, all the themes of me. All of that is so very clearly present here. Everything that you can think of that has to do with woke ideology was presented in this show. Let's not even get into the fact that there's freaking drag queens and like woke weirdos and trans like binary crap in there. That's honestly the least of the show's problems. The show's problems is it's just too freaking boring. Nothing's happening. Okay? This production value. Oh my god. I got to tell you, this show feels like a student film, but with a $100 million budget. This is the most expensive student film ever made. This is novice level filmmaking, if I've ever seen it. Like, between the music, the directing, the writing, the editing, the acting is so much fucking trash, dude. Oh my gosh. I hope this actress has saved up whatever paycheck she made on this show, because I'm going to tell you right now, girl, you just ain't that good, okay? You're lucky that you're a diversity hire. In fact, this show literally makes a point about the fact that Riri Williams is a diversity hire. We open up episode 1 of this show where we have a flashback sequence showing Riri Williams and one of her girlfriends who are doing their little social media TikTok trend bullcrap, acting just like a bunch of entitled little shits, okay? The first line of this show, we got Riri Williams saying, "I'm going to be bigger than Bill Gates. I'm going to be bigger than Steve Jobs and Hank Pym and Tony Stark combined." And her friend is just like, yeah, girl, ooh, get it? And it's the most annoying, like, ghetto crap you can think of, okay? This show is, like, full-on hood. The hood, okay? So, we've done that flashback sequence. Now, we flash forward a bit to Riri Williams. Of course, she is a prodigy, a 19-year-old prodigy who skipped 4 years of high school, went directly from middle school to MIT, and has been there for 4 years. So since 15 years old to 19 years old, she has been at MIT, the youngest student in the college's program history, right? She's such an engineering prodigy. They let her use the labs at MIT to build whatever the heck she wants. And then, as it turns out, we find out right in the beginning that she is, in fact, a cheat. She has people pay her to cheat on their exams at MIT, and that's how she makes a side hustle. But wait a minute. Can't she just make money if she's so smart? Why can't she just make money in college? Exactly the problem. This show has you believe that even though she's such a Mary Sue engineering prodigy, that she's also an oppressed black woman who can't pay rent. And you see, this is the problem, right? This is modern liberalism in a nutshell. The modern woman is both a victim and a superhero when it suits them. When it's convenient, they are on top of the world, and when it's not so hot for them, they are oppressed victims who need a handout for everything and for the world to cater to their needs. And that is this show, top to bottom. So the dean of the school, remember I said that this show makes a point that Riri Williams is literally a diversity hire? The dean of the school of MIT, who is also a black woman, straight up says to Riri Williams, she says, I try to get people like us into the program, but obviously you helping people cheat on their exams, that doesn't look too hot for you, right? So here she is, this engineering prodigy, huge future ahead of her, she's only 19 years old. MIT has her expelled, rightfully so, because she's freaking terrible. She's a terrible person. She got expelled because she helped all these students cheat, and she took a profit for it to help other kids at MIT cheat, right? So you'd think, right off the bat, there should be a very humbling lesson. Like, oh, that was a terrible thing for me to do. But no, she puts up this sour act. Like, she tries to actually argue with the dean, like, you're expelling me? You're expelling me? As if somehow this wasn't entirely her fault. But that's only the tip of the iceberg. We got worse problems, right? So she's just been expelled. At the funding that MIT gave her, they gave her a grant to build her own tech at their labs. They were so generous, they gave her all of this technology funding. They gave her everything that she possibly needed. But of course, being an oppressed minority, that's not enough, right? Because it's never enough. So after getting expelled from MIT, she drops by the lab on her way out, and she steals the Ironheart suit that she built in the lab, which does not belong to her. That is property of MIT. They funded it. They own the rights to it. She steals the suit, flies out of there, and at that moment, this becomes the single most comic book accurate show that Marvel has ever made. And that's not even an exaggeration, because this is the perfect encapsulation of who Riri Williams is and what she did in the comic books. She steals shit. She is a criminal. So she flies at MIT, and then there's a defense mechanism the school has set, a lockout system in the event of theft. So they shut down the suit, and she comes crashing out of the sky. And lo and behold, it just so happens that the Hood saw her flying by and was like, ooh, she's smart. She's very smart. Let's get her on board. Right? So she gets home, having just crashed the Ironheart suit because MIT locked her out, shut her down mid-flight, literally shut her suit down mid-flight, made her fly out of the sky. So you think something that big. Everybody in Chicago happened to witness her fall out of the sky, by the way. The police should be on her ass within, like, seconds, yeah? The FBI, nonetheless, should also be on it. NSA. Every intelligence organization in the United States would be on her ass within minutes. But this is Marvel. That's not going to happen. So she gets home after crashing her suit to this apartment where her mom is hanging out with some of her spiritual guru-ass girlfriends, right? And, of course, surprise, surprise, it turns out Riri does not have a father, because we don't have enough fatherless black people already in American society. So we very quickly learn that we don't know about her biological father at all. Basically, he never even existed, right? He went out for milk. So Riri happened to be raised by her stepfather instead. Her stepfather was the main man in her life, her main father figure. He was a mechanic. And we find out that she had a best friend, the best friend that we saw in the flashbacks at the beginning. And one night, because it's Chicago, this is every weekend in Chicago, the father and her best friend, Riri Williams' stepfather, and her best friend got freaking deleted, destroyed, annihilated in a drive-by shooting. And everybody's sad. Okay? And so that's what the show wants us to excuse for the reason why she's such an annoying little shit. But it doesn't fly by me. Okay? So, yeah, she's back at her ghetto-ass apartment where everybody in the city of Chicago should know where she is. The FBI, the government, everyone should know where she is. The government should be coming for her for stealing probably $1 billion from MIT, right? Nope. 3 episodes go by, that never happens. Not once. So, Riri tells her mom that I just want to be acknowledged for my greatness.
Riri, I see you. I see you're fed up, waiting to be acknowledged for your greatness.
Okay? And so the Hood shows up to her door, and he gives her that promise. I'm gonna make you great. Provided you help us out, do some thievery, Robin Hood type shit, right?
Anyone who's ever accomplished anything iconic in life has had to do some questionable things to get it done.
So, their first mission, we're gonna steal from a white woman CEO. And they do that. She uses the Ironheart suit to steal millions by blackmailing some CEO into giving them a fat salary. And then it just so happens after doing that first crime, well, now she's in the life now, you know what I'm saying? But it's not like a mob film. It's not like every other film where it's very clear to the audience that these are not good people. No, the show wants to convince you that she is a good person. We literally have a line where the Hood, right? The Hood is a criminal, takes one to no one. He tells Riri Williams, you're a criminal like me. And she says, I'm not a criminal. What? What? So because the Hood kills people and Riri Williams doesn't, in the show's mind, she is the hero. Never mind that she steals and steals. Never mind that she directly helps rob people of their business and ends up getting people in situations where they literally get killed because of her actions. No. Because she's a black woman, it's all okay for her. That's the message of the show here, okay? I'm so glad that the show ends next week because I could not sit through another few weeks of this. I'm so glad this is done in 2 weeks. This is legit the worst piece of trash I have ever seen. I'm not even joking. This is the worst thing I've ever seen. This is the single worst film or television show I have ever watched. Ever. Period. I thought this would be a funny satirical video, but the more I talk about it, the worse it gets. This was like a slog. There's no moral lessons here. The only lesson is be a villain, and all will be excused. But anyway, guys, that was the video. If you liked this video, please consider leaving a like and subscribing. I'll see you guys in the next one.